So now I want you, Debo, to talk to us, just following in the line of inflation and coming to the US. It's a bit of a different narrative over there. The fundamental cause of the inflation rate you're experiencing now is definitely not FX crisis. So in your case, you might even be talking about excess supply of money in circulation. And is there a direction you want us to go there? Because that's inflation narrative in the US is driving the global climate change narrative to some extent. So I want you to go in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think in terms of the inflation we have here, there are different factors. What I think is the starting point is the fact that, of course, since the COVID situation started, government started giving stimulus spend. So there's, of course, we know what stimulus goes to do. There's no production backing it up. You're just giving money to people. And when there's more money in the system, of course, there's more money chasing the goods that are available. So prices go up. That was our first point of what we know would be responsible for the current inflation we have. But then the situation got worse because when vaccine mandates started coming up to the point that people were losing their jobs. So some industries have to even cut production. Factory workers would not be allowed into the factory. Healthcare workers were being laid off because some refused to get vaccinated because they have their reservation. So again, you are not only pumping money into the system, but again, production is being cut because labor shortage is happening. Then of recent, again, in the past maybe 2-3 months now, we have a supply chain crisis. A lot of people also believe the supply chain crisis is due to the fact that we are losing labor because of vaccine. That at every port in the US now, there's a large backlog of cargo ships that are sitting there that could not be offloaded. In fact, there's a lot of concern, like the Thanksgiving that we just had a couple of days ago, that people were saying that is the most expensive Thanksgiving in the last 3 decades or thereabout, because there's people were getting worried when we would do our shopping, our product arrive, we order online, and then we actually seeing it in reality that when you order things, they take longer to come or they even cancel orders. So those are the 3 key things that had happened. And then this current administration is also now still planning expansionary policy. Like they have this Build Back Better policy that just got signed, and that is another $1.6 trillion in spending. So there's some economists that I was surprised to hear, an economist from Harvard, the professor, that said that they will spend their way out of inflation. And everybody kind of think that is contrary to what we think is how you manage inflation. If you want to spend more, then you expect inflation to go higher. But maybe we are changing economics theory now. Of course, who am I to contest what an Harvard professor says? But I found that interesting. But again, another thing we are realizing these days is that politics seem to be getting in the way of people's thinking in terms of how they think about policy, and how we are also seeing it even in the healthcare too as well, where some of the policies they are making around the vaccine, a lot of people believe they are bringing their politics in the way of the science. So then you mentioned also climate change, because that's another area. This current administration seems to be bent on controlling oil and gas, coal, and every other fossil fuel. So, and that's one of the main aim of their Build Back Better policy, where they are saying, okay, yes, we went into global crisis. We want to build back, but in building back, we want to kill oil and gas as much as we could, and then build with cleaner energy. So there was this conference they recently concluded in Glasgow about 2 weeks ago, a COP26, and it was a kind of reaffirming their commitment to climate change. And I was surprised to hear that Nigeria actually is a party to that agreement. So Nigeria also signed it. And then if you realize there's also now coming into the picture again of subsidy removal in Nigeria, because that was part of the agreement. So when you start seeing Nigeria talking about subsidy removal now and how the price of petrol will go up, yes, you are getting the outcome of what they signed to in that agreement. So now the US is going all out as well. Biden has started blocking pipelines. So oil and gas pipeline supply to the US is being blocked, and we are seeing that at the pump heavily. In some states now, a gallon of petrol is over $5 compared to about $3 of a year ago. So the factors are clear here, but again, you will also see a little bit of the impact. I don't know how well Nigeria will be committed to it, but yes, I am already seeing subsidy removal in the news, and that would be something that Nigerians will not like to hear at this point.
No way you can like that when you're already dealing with double-digit inflation. So it's a difficult one to accept.